Mr. Ming Cho Lee is known as the American Dean of Designers. Mr. Lee was born on October 3rd, 1930 in Shanghai, China. As a child, Mr. Lee faced many hardships in that his parents divorced when he was only 6 years old. In Chinese tradition, the son always had to go to his father. Although Lee loved his father, it was with his mother that he had his greatest moments. His mother is who introduced him to theater, from taking him to movies, theaters, cinemas, and Chinese operas. Mr. Ming Cho Lee seen that he had what it takes. Mr. Ming Cho Lee and his family moved to Hong Kong in the year of 1948 when Mr. Lee graduated from high school. His dream was to then attend the University of Hong Kong. All of his credentials met up, but he was not accepted because he didn't speak English. So in 1949, him and his family moved to California so that he can attend the Occidental College there in California. He declared his major as art, being that again, he couldn't speak English, so he decided that he wanted a major that wasn't going to require him to take English courses. As time went on, he began to see that he had a deep love and passion for theater. So he changed his major from art to theater and speech. When he then got the opportunity to design for his very first show, The Silver Whistle, held at the Occidental College. After graduating from the college, Mr. Lee then got accepted into UCLA. I know everybody's thinking, UCLA, that's a great school. But Mr. Lee hated it. And under the advice of his mentor, Mr. Edward Koch, the president of Century Lighting at the time, he then moved to New York City, where he met Mr. Joe Melziner, who he worked for the next 4 years. In 1955, Mr. Ming Cho Lee received his union card, where he then got the opportunity to design his first professional set of Guys and Dolls for the Grist Mill Playhouse. But he was soon fired for making those designs too elaborate and too expensive. But not even that stopped Mr. Ming Cho Lee, because in 1958, he got the opportunity to design 2 off-Broadway shows. Those off-Broadway shows were The Crucible and The Infernal Machine. Now let's talk about The Infernal Machine for just 1 minute. That design received horrible reviews. Some critics even said that that design was the echo of the play's moral decay. But not even that stopped Mr. Ming Cho Lee, because in 1961, he got the opportunity to travel to San Francisco to become the art director and designer for the San Francisco Opera. He hated it. So in 1962, he moved back to New York to design for the New York Shakespearean Festival, where he designed the first premiere of The Merchants of Venice. Mr. Ming Cho Lee continued working for the New York Shakespearean Festival for the next 11 years. But in 1970, Mr. Ming Cho Lee's career reached its milestone. The year 1970 marks the year that he was nominated for his first Tony Award for his design in Billy. He was also named the co-chairman and professor of the Yale School of Drama, where he still currently serves as co-chairman and professor. Now, we cannot talk about Mr. Ming Cho Lee without talking about his love for teaching. Mr. Ming Cho Lee never misses a day of work. In fact, he goes in the cold, the sleet, the hail, and the rain. Mr. Ming Cho Lee loves to teach because he feels that if he can impart wisdom on someone else, he has done a great deal of work. Recently, Mr. Ming Cho Lee has broken his hip, and he wanted me to apologize to the class for missing the opportunity to come and to talk with you all. Mr. Ming Cho Lee was going to come to share some of his wisdoms on scenography, but he could not come because he has to recover so that he can go back into the classroom. I must note that Mr. Ming Cho Lee did not receive the Tony Award in 1970, but he did receive a Tony Award in 1983 for his design of K2. Mr. Ming Cho Lee also received the $25,000 Distinguished Artist Award, where he donated that money to the Lincoln Center Library to give to the portfolio review event that they hold every single year. For more information on Mr. Ming Cho Lee, you can find anything that you want on him at the Lincoln Center Library or online. Stay tuned while we talk about his design.